Hey there, everybody. We are here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles. I'm still in Hood's Port, and I think this is my last day here. We don't really make very, our plans are fluid. So I don't know where I'm going. Maybe I'll be here tomorrow, maybe I won't. But the sun is shining. Woo! Happy sunrise out here on the shore. And life is feeling pretty good today. All right, so let's do lesson number 249. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Boy, do we need to hear that. Okay, forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over, loss becomes impossible, and anger makes no sense. Attack is gone, and madness has an end. What suffering is now conceivable? What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, clarity, charity actually, but clarity too, I'm sure, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. Oh, wait a second. So that's saying the world. I'm going to read that again. The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and maybe clarity, and endless giving. The world becomes that. The world that we're perceiving becomes that. It is now so like heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. Well, that just sounds amazing. I declare that is happening today. And so the journey which the Son of God began has ended in the light from which he came. Father, we would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and death. Now would we rest again in you as you created us. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. And I'm sure it's not an accident that he used the word all suffering and loss. So bye-bye victimhood. Bye-bye retelling all those bad stories over and over again. If we want this world to become a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving, we practice forgiveness. Yeah. What can you let go of today? What can you forgive today? What resentment? What ultimatum? What thing that you have said, like, this is the line in the sand? What can you, where can you soften and stop doing that? Okay, let's see what a year of forgiveness has to say about this lesson. 249, forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. It is important for you to understand that the salvation of the world rests on your forgiveness. It's all on you. It's all on me. It does not rest on you doing things in the world to prevent what has already happened. Many of you are looking at disasters or political upsets, these sorts of things, and seeing many people taking action. It is important for you to understand that there is nothing wrong with taking action, but if your mind is filled with vitriol, hatred, and judgment for the beings you think that have done wrong, you will not change the world. You will not change the world. That had to be said twice. Forgiveness must be a part of your practice so that you can bring a new frequency into this place, and so that you may bring a new awareness of love into this place. Battling the warmongers does not do any good because you use the same energy they have taught you to use. I am teaching you to use a different energy as a catalyst for change, love. Through the practice of forgiveness, you get back all your power to use in whatever way you see fit to enhance everyone's experience here. However, in the end, your world will not be the place that you want to stay. The ascension process, the enlightenment process, eventually will take you to a place where this world is not a place you want to play anymore. You will be tired of chasing your idols. You will be tired of the bodies you've used and the bodies you have. Wow, just puts it right out there. Tired of the bodies you've used and the bodies you've had. I think each statement here could go into a much deeper analysis. What came up for me is bodies you've used is like all those times where you've used manipulation to get what you want. When I've used manipulation to get what I want. Or, you know, it doesn't even feel like that in the moment, but there's something about like using bodies and all the ways that these like more shadow aspects of ourselves, or like these unconscious aspects of ourselves, come out in the forefront and are sort of like, you know, leading the charge, so to speak, rather than our hearts, rather than gentleness and forgiveness and love. So yeah, once we're totally aware of all of that, we won't want to do it anymore, because it really isn't coming from a place of love. And this experience is showing us that that's just a reinforcement of the separation we chose to come into in order to be here. So I get it. At some point, as beautiful as this is, we'll be done with it. We'll be like, okay, thank you. Check, please. You'll be tired of it and say, I've had enough. It is not disillusionment. It is not depression. Rather, enlightenment is recognizing I no longer need this particular kind of experience to express myself. That is where you will all eventually get to. But until you make forgiveness the transformative practice you use to bring peace to your mind, the battles on this earth will continue. The fights on this earth will continue. The poor and the grieved and the suffering will continue because of the frequency of the collective minds that inhabit this place. So it's interesting, now it's like the frequency of the collective mind. So it's not just our mind. I listened to the channeled messages from Jesus about how, like, what we're seeing right now is a result of the collective consciousness over time. It's like we have to have some sort of patience and know that, yes, the way that the work that we're doing is changing the way that we see the world and experience the world and kind of feel our way through this incarnation. There is this aspect of the collective too. So when it does feel like we're kind of at the front or the leading edge of this thing, having that compassion and love for our brothers and sisters who are not at the same place we are, not at the same frequency or vibration, becomes really, really important. All right, make your mind a forgiving place. Experience the bliss of peace and understand that you are contributing to the world by forgiving it. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. So I have a little story about what I freaked out about yesterday. This is kind of funny, but it just goes to show that I'm totally still caught up in this silly world. I am living out of my travel trailer and my vehicle. My boyfriend and I moved out of our house at the end of August, and we're just kind of on the road. So one of the things I was so excited about is I had a small Instant Pot. And last night we finally were gonna cook in the camper instead of like going out to eat, which we've been doing all the freaking time. Anyway, and the thing, so I was making rice, and the little thing that's like the pressure cooker thing was gone. And it was in my truck the other day, and I picked it up. I remember picking it up, and I think I just threw it away because I was like, what's this? Oh, it fell off of something. I'm moving. There's just miscellaneous pieces of things everywhere. And I was so mad. I just began crying. I was like, oh, I had it in my hand. I can't believe it. The rice is ruined. You know, like I went through this whole entire thing of being so mad at myself for making a mistake and so unhappy because, you know, the rice, it's like, oh my God, check, please. You know, the silliness of punishing myself. And I know underneath all of that, there's some beliefs and things that needed to come to the surface so that I could be confronted with things and heal things. But, you know, I mean, that's, you know, That's reality. And I had the best day yesterday. We went to this place called Lake Cushman and just kind of like chilled out by the lake all day. And then finally I decided to jump in the water, and it was like refreshing and chilly, but like awesome. And it was just wonderful. And so it's like, here comes the ego, you know, with this beautiful day. I felt so connected to nature and just really open and just loving and tender. And this thing with the Instant Pot, little steamer thingy, whatever it's called. It's like, man, you know, so I don't know. My boyfriend was great though. He's like, oh, look, you can just go on Amazon and order the part and it could be there in a couple days. So if we move campgrounds, we can send it to the next one we go to. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All that stuff doesn't matter. It's just to say, like, it's helping me understand that I don't want to be a part of this place anymore. Like, if that's what it's about, I'm going to be picking on myself for making mistakes. It's like, I want something different. I want to have a different, better, more fulfilling, nourishing experience. And so I love these lessons for that, because it reminds me, forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Oh, Sherry, you didn't lose that little piece of thing for your Instant Pot. It was never real. None of this is real. And I'm making myself suffer for no reason. And I just need a little more forgiveness. Self-forgiveness. Instant Pot forgiveness. Okay, I don't know. There it is. Just true confessions, you know, every day. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Enjoy, forgive, and just do it. Just check, please. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.